entire movement has taken place and what it should really have been. The suggestions to Vijay Kumar, the concept of advisors to government are really appreciable, and I really hope he at least takes note of that. The great poet Iqbal had said, दरवेश खुदा मस्त न शर्फी है न गरबी, घर मेरा न दिल्ली न सफाहा न समरखंड. Meaning, a man seeking God is neither of the east nor of the west. My house is neither in Isfahan nor in Samarkand nor in Delhi. I am a man of that time. But I used to, in my younger days, I used to tell that if there were the government of Nizam, I would have been a communist. It happens. You are always a little uneasy, discomfortable with the regime. But this regime which I have been seeing for the past 5 decades, with all my eyes open, so that my eyes were not open. So, this regime has really taken the cake as far as stupidity goes. It really has brought us to a stage where we have got to ask ourselves that how in the hell did we put up with this kind of a nonsense for such a long time? This absurd suggestion of government having the control over a newly created state, control of law and order, and to be advised by two senior police officers, one serving, one serving, all this kind of a thing proves nothing but the sheer lack of confidence, not just in the against people even till now, but it speaks of lack of faith in the very constitution of the country, in the very jurisprudence of the country, in the police administration, in the people who are sworn to uphold the constitution, and they will when the time will come. But this lack of confidence reflects in suggestions like these which are being made. But even this matter has already been dealt upon quite a bit already. What I would want to tell my very dear friends here, my brothers, I think of them, because as I said, I am now neither of the east nor of the west. Really speaking, I do not want to be confined in this case, but in the year 2000, when Mr. KCR had just started, I told him, I had arranged for him a private press conference of Telangana media people. In that there were some very good names present at that time. And at that time I had told Mr. KCR that Mr. KCR, Telangana is so near to me, that it smell is there in my nostrils. I smell Telangana when I am here. And that kind of a smell I do not harbor for any of the country, any part of the country where I have lived for quite a long time. So Telangana is so dear to me. Whatever it is, whichever way it is. And I have said many a times that Telangana, whether it succeeds or not is a totally different issue, but it is the desire of the people. And when we are in a democracy, it has got to be given irrespective of whether it fails or succeeds. Because success in failure just does not come due to the mineral wealth or the flow of water or extra energy or things like that. It comes due to the will and the power of the people who really need to work hard and strive for building it. This is how Haryana got built up. When Haryana was given away, cut off from Punjab, people thought that nothing will come out of it. But today Haryana alone pays more tax than Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab and Uttarakhand put together. Haryana alone, whereas in size it is much smaller than any of these states except Uttarakhand, I think. So gentlemen, the time has come, the challenge has come for the people of Telangana, asked for Telangana, and they have almost got it. Almost, I would say, because still I am not very clear as to, there is talk about people going to court. We do not know. There is Mr. Kapil Sibal had himself given an opinion that it will not stand the test of legal scrutiny. But still they went ahead and passed it in the parliament. I don't know what will come out of it. I do pray it does come out. But in the new scenario, when finally we will have got our Telangana, how are we going to treat it? How are we going to handle it? Because gentlemen, we are not against the anymore. We have got to be honest. The media is too much in our face to ignore hard facts and realities. Now it is not like earlier days when anything would have been said, the news would have been blocked, the blocked news would remain blocked, and whatever the news which you wanted to pass off got passed off, and you really got the country, you got the region, you got the state, you got everything due to a lot of misinformation information also which came to your end, which disinformation which also came to your end. But at that time they did not have the education and knowledge and awareness to understand as to what was the disinformation and what was the misinformation. But my dear sirs, every information is before there. Some gentleman here, Mr. I have nothing against him. I have nothing against anybody who speaks about either the Muslim rule or Aurangzeb or the Nizam. Before going, he would have seen that. I did not see that. It is Mr. Ur-Rahman who has put that over there, what Hyderabad was. Hyderabad till even 1956 had always remained a highly surplus state in spite of about 60-70 years earlier being totally bankrupt. It was mortgaged to Banias and to the Western bankers. In spite of that, it became a surplus state and it remained like that. And gentlemen, do you know, the only time, the last time India was really a big thing, it was really a big thing, it is not today. Don't fool ourselves. We are only a big country with a large population. But where is anything else? But in the year up to the early 18th century, in the times of Aurangzeb, the much talked about Aurangzeb, which people do not want to talk about, India, the 1/5 of humanity of the world, was commanding 1/4 of the GDP of the world. 1/4 of the GDP of the world was generated in India, and it was in times of Aurangzeb. And this happens only and only when there is a firm administrative setup in place, when there is a fair judicial system in place, when there is total encouragement to merit, to enterprise. This happens only in such atmosphere. We can't expect these people to be giving us a fair enterprise, fair playing area. They can't give us a fair playing field now. As Mr. Captain Panduranga he said that they came here, they took the rough land on lease, and with that they took bank loans from the local banks. On that they made for 5-star hotels and making huge profits, and they are saying they brought development. What did they bring from there that they talk of the development that they created there? I will not go again into what Hyderabad was. Airport, electricity, telephones, railways, management institutions, agricultural institutions. Go to Rajanagar area and find out as to when those were set up. How early in the day those were set up. All this was there because there was the responsive government. And responsive government is the one which even at times is still responsible because it is taking on board people who really know what they are talking about. But our people, I am sorry to say, it would have been nice if our Honorable Prime Minister were a man of few words. But unfortunately, he turns out to be a man of only 2 words. Nuclear deal, FDI. At the peak, just 1 month back, at the peak of the Telangana debate, when it was to be done or not to be done or what would have happened, he talked of genetically modified technology, seeds. These are the things he's talking about. Mr. Nandan mentioned about we are first and our biggest focus area because these politicians, they don't know, they are so utterly out of tune of reality that they don't know to what extent we have got totally sold off. None other than Mr. Modi, who was so much against foreign direct investment in retail, he's telling his people, his own constituency, especially the Banya constituency, don't be afraid of competition. Match up to them. That is not the issue. It is not a fair competition at all. This competition is laden with innumerable twists and turns which we do not comprehend at that time. And by the time you realize, you come into a situation where Andhra Pradesh state, a big state of 8-9 crore people, is not credit worthy rated by who? By the most credit giving hungry people. IMF and World Bank, they think India is not, Andhra Pradesh is not credit worthy. So these people have brought us to that stage. And if that is the stage, then the poor man is really going to languish in absolute poverty if we do not realize and wake up to this kind of a situation. So gentlemen, I I would say, as a Muslim, I would not want us to still be stuck up with that silly idiom about Nizam ka zulm, British ka zulm. British ka zulm, we were all lucky enough not to have seen at all. The Telangana people should be most happy that they did not even get a whiff of British rule. It was our own rule. And gentlemen, I would exhort you all to go into that book which says extremist activity in the state of Andhra Pradesh from earliest times, that is 1770. You would be shocked to know that all the movements, all the uprisings in the local area were not against the Nizam's government or against the British, but were strictly against the local people who had cornered vast tracts of lands of the villages to their own self. It did not happen simply. Some slowly, 3,000 acres of land in one village, 5 families owning 2,500 acres, 2 families owning 1,500 acres from there. This all happens because of a lot of injustice and lot of malpractice takes place. And at the local level, only the local people are responsible for that. And that is what happened from 1770 to even to the present times, to the recent times. So let not that happen. As far as Muslims are concerned, it's a perception amongst people that Muslims have not really supported Telangana wholeheartedly. I told you, I and people like me have wholeheartedly supported it, because we say it is the desire of the people, irrespective of whether what I get out of it. And I have said publicly that I have never been discriminated by the Andhra people as a Muslim, but I have seen Andhra people discriminating Telangana Telugu. I have seen that and I have hated that. I have protested that. And this should not oh yes, most certainly. So gentlemen, finally, before concluding, I would want you to take one more thing into account, and that is apart from this demon of corporatization of the countries, which is going on at a very feverish pace, we have got to be alert about our own corporates which are gobbling up all our natural resources and all our national assets. To that also we have got to be. If our party is talking about Ambani, it is really very bad that we are all not talking about it, because we are not any less educated than him. And it is their duty bound to be talking about as to how in the hell is somebody growing rich by leaps and bounds, and there is no limit to that. And as far as Muslim go, let me tell you that in our quiet way we have always sacrificed for the country, even for Telangana. We were the underdogs, we never got properly represented, we never got properly propagated by the people. It should have been. Every friend of mine here is already bound to appreciate the contribution of the Muslim, but due to ignorance that is not being done. Let it be so. But Muslim contribution is enormous. So much so, gentlemen, that the latest report is that the Telangana bill finally got passed when again a very unholy compromise was done about the prevention of communal violence bills. The prevention of communal violence bill also had got to be passed because it has been pending for a long time, but the good old BJP sticking to their ways, not that Congress is anywhere better, sticking to their old ways, they said that no, this communal violence bill will have to be put in the freezer, only then we will pass Telangana. So the contribution of Muslims to the passage of the Telangana bill is enormous, and it's on an all India level. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for having given class.